Welcome back everybody to The Handmade Way, a channel all about learning to grow more, make more and buy less, improving our independence one skill at a time. Today we're back with another garden vlog. Unfortunately it's going to be another reset video pretty much because I've been away for a few months and I've come back to a garden that looks like this. And the only person that seems to be happy about it is the dog. So yeah, I've got my work cut out for me over the next couple of weekends. But stay with us, it's not all going to be de-weeding, we're going to be rejuvenating my pot mix, planting our potatoes, starting seedlings that I should have started a month ago on the windowsill but I wasn't here to do, and making some grass tea. But before I can do any of that, I've got to tackle this. So yeah, I think maybe have a brew and get to work. So you may be wondering, how on earth did my garden get into this state in the first place? And obviously a big contributor to that was my going away for nearly 3 months. But we're also in a new build estate and I think all the gardens have just been backfilled with churned over soil that's just allowed the weeds to go crazy. Add to that, out the front of the house there's a big open area that the council mowed that's riddled with weeds that obviously they don't de-weed before they mow, and I think all the seeds that they disturb just find their way in here. Let me know in the comments if you have a similar issue where you live. I'm gonna have to wait till next weekend to finish this because we've been going over a couple of weekends. I've still got all this to do, plus mow, and that is full to the brim. Fortunately, there's plenty of other stuff that I can be getting on with, like sowing the seeds and the potatoes that I haven't gotten around to yet. But before we can plant anything, I have to rejuvenate the soil in my pots. As you can see, it's gotten pretty dry, it's a horrible texture and probably barren of any real nutrients, but I don't want to waste it as it's at least still a medium to fill the pots and I can rejuvenate it with a little bit of compost as opposed to bankrupting myself every year completely refilling every pot. So I tip my old soil from pot to pot to aerate it and I manually break it up, then mix the compost in at about a 30-70 or so mix of new to old to make it go further. If I was feeling lazy or growing in established beds, I probably wouldn't bother mixing it and I'd probably just lay the compost on top. But I think logically, if you're able to do this, it's probably the better way, but I'd be interested to hear what you think down below. I also like doing this as I get to check the quality of the compost, which I know finding plastic and cheaper compost is quite a common complaint, but this is the first time that I've personally found it. But on the flip side, it's nice to see that the soil isn't completely dead. So I'm keeping things simple this year. I'm not bothering with like first and second earlies, I'm just doing main crop. And I've gone for a bit of an all-rounder this year. It's called Buster, and apparently it's good for everything really, mostly because it was on offer. But hopefully they're already like pre-chitted, so I can put these pretty much straight in the ground. Usually I chuck 2 or 3 seed potatoes in a pot this size, but I've been finding over the years that the potatoes I get are a lot smaller, and usually I do this with like first or second earlies. So as I've got a main crop variety this year, I'm just going to go with the 1 seed potato in them, and hopefully less will be more. And that's 16 tubs of hopefully main crop potatoes, which hopefully do alright in those pots. So I'm trying to go with a less is more approach this year. So I'm trying to grow less variety but more of the stuff that I'm growing. So the other seeds I'm going to be going for, going to be doing some carrots, but I'll probably wait until I've got some more containers, because the containers I've got left aren't really suitable for carrots. But I'm going to be planting up today some tomatoes, chili peppers and sweet peppers, because they're a key ingredient in my sweet chili jam recipe that I make, and I'm trying to do as much as I can from the garden. Usually when I start my seeds off, I've just been using these over the years and then I just put them on the windowsill, but I put a bit of cardboard underneath them and they always leak, and they always leave a bit of a mess on the windowsill, which the missus absolutely loves. So I went out and actually bought myself a proper propagator. It comes with these little pop-out trays, and then underneath it's actually got the whole catchment area to stop mess from going on the windowsill, and a clear cover as well to help keep them warm. So I'll see if that improves germination this year. For watering the seedlings, I've just got a water bowl that I've put some holes in the lid, rather than having like a fine watering can, and that tends to do a fine enough spray of the water for little seedlings. And yeah, some suitable seed compost. So I think that's about it. I think we're ready to go. I just need a couple of helpers.
Went to the beach and I got cold in the sea. That was funny.
Mummy didn't think it was funny. She was worried about you turning blue.
Did you think it was funny, Dada?
I thought it was funny. I thought it was very funny.
Try and make our own homemade tomato ketchup.
We could have a go if we get enough.
Yeah.
So we got. I've really gotten into growing and making my own food the past few years, but one thing I love, even if it can be stressful at times, is spending time with the kids, seeing how excited they get. Usually all 4 of my kids join me, but I think the eldest 2 were out playing football, and they generally prefer helping with the cooking more than the gardening anyway. But if you're on the fence about trying to grow your own food at home and you have kids, I really urge you to bite the bullet and just start. Even if you grow nothing, kill every seedling and have nothing but expensive dirt, you'll at least have some great family memories to feast on. I thought it was only fitting that baby Groot looked over our seedlings and figured we all needed a well-earned break from gardening. You're gonna be stinking. Well, the bin's been emptied, so time to get back to it. So that's the postie no longer avoiding the front garden, and I think we can all agree the back garden is looking a lot tamer. And I think the local wildlife are appreciating my efforts too, or the birds anyway, maybe not the insects. But obviously, most importantly, all the veg and everything looks a lot healthier, and I've got my potatoes on the go. But another great stroke of luck, I bought this lawnmower when we first moved out about nearly 20 years ago now, and I've hated it since the day that I bought it. Absolute buyer's remorse, and it has finally died. So if you've got any good recommendations, let me know. Now, another important thing I've got to do, if you look at a lot of my plants that are already started and they've been left over the winter, they're looking pretty starved. And that's quite common in container planting, because obviously they can't get extra nutrients from the ground. So I'm going to use a little bit of this. It's just a liquid feed. Obviously liquid feeds can cost a little bit of money, so one of the things that I tend to do to try and help bring costs down is I make myself a grass tea. So this is part of the reason why I was de-weeding the garden as much as I was, because I didn't want a load of weed seeds in here. But basically you just fill a bucket full of grass, top it up with some water, leave it for a couple of weeks until it's absolutely stinking, and then you just siphon off the water, choose as a plant food, and chuck the rest of the clippings in the compost. Okay, editing me here. Maybe it's a little bit more complicated than how I let on. You are supposed to stir it every single day. I just use an old bamboo cane to do that. And I leave it no more than 2 weeks. You know it's ready because it is starting to stink. And yeah, when I use it on the plants, I mix it 1-to-1 with water, and I just make sure that I put it at the base of the plant rather than spraying all over it. The only problem is, it does get stinking. I've got to keep it in the garage because otherwise the dog will try and eat it. And it's heavy. Gardening doesn't have to be perfect, it just has to start. Some seeds won't grow, some things won't go to plan, but that's not really the point. The real magic is right here. Muddy hands, watering cans, and little moments shared together. If you've got kids, bring them out with you. Let them dig, plant, and get involved, because one day they won't remember how many tomatoes you grew, but they will remember this. And you'll be surprised how much joy comes from the smallest of successes. The first sprout, the first leaf, and the first thing you grew together. So just start, keep it simple, and enjoy it. watched this far, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe so that you can see all the other videos and my tomato chutney. See you in the next one.